You've been canning food to survive emergencies. You bought the pressure canner, stacked hundreds of mason jars in your basement, spent entire weekends sweating over a hot stove. But let me ask you something. Did anyone ever tell you where canning actually came from? Because it wasn't from some old homesteading tradition. It was invented in 1795 to feed Napoleon's army. The food industry just repackaged it and sold it back to you as ancestral survival wisdom. And here's what nobody talks about. When you pressure can at 121 degrees Celsius, you're destroying most of the enzymes and vitamins in that food. You're left with calories, not nutrition. Meanwhile, the Amish in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, they're doing exactly what they did in 1730. No electricity, no machines, no pressure cookers. Their food lasts 2 to 3 years, and the nutrients are still completely intact. I'm going to show you exactly what they do, and why it beats canning on every single level. Welcome back to Forbidden Amish Roots. The Amish didn't always can their food. Long before pressure canners existed, communities across Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, and Holmes County, Ohio, were preserving food through 3 core methods that required zero heat, zero electricity, and zero expensive equipment. The first was salt curing. Families would pack pork, beef, and venison in dry salt at a ratio of 1 pound of salt per 5 pounds of meat. The salt draws out moisture completely, creating an environment where bacteria cannot survive. Historical records from Mennonite communities in the 1740s describe salt-cured pork lasting 18 to 24 months, stored in simple wooden barrels in a cool barn. The second method was root cellar fermentation. Every Amish household had a root cellar, a hand-dug chamber 4 to 6 feet underground where the temperature stayed between 32 and 45 degrees Fahrenheit year-round. Cabbage, carrots, turnips, and beets were packed into ceramic crocks with a simple 2% saltwater brine. Lacto-fermentation took over naturally within 48 hours. These vegetables stayed edible and nutritious for 12 to 18 months without any processing. The third method was lard preservation. Cooked meats, pork ribs, sausage, chicken, were submerged completely in rendered lard inside sealed ceramic jars. With no oxygen reaching the meat, spoilage was impossible. This technique, known in French cuisine as confit, was standard Amish practice throughout the 18th century. These 3 methods fed entire families through brutal winters, droughts, and supply shortages for over 150 years before a single pressure canner existed in America. So how did canning become the default survival method? It starts with a war. In 1795, Napoleon Bonaparte offered 12,000 francs to anyone who could solve his army's biggest problem. Soldiers were dying of scurvy and food poisoning on long campaigns far from supply lines. A French confectioner named Nicolas Appert discovered that heating food inside sealed glass jars could extend its shelf life significantly. He won the prize in 1810. The British immediately stole the concept, replaced glass with tin canisters, and began mass-producing canned rations for their navy. Canning was born as military technology, designed for durability in combat conditions, not for nutritional value in family kitchens. Fast forward to the 1950s in America. The post-war manufacturing boom left tin can factories with enormous excess production capacity. Food companies needed a new market. They partnered with home economics programs, women's magazines, and early television advertisers to rebrand industrial canning as a wholesome, traditional homesteading practice. Betty Crocker promoted it. The USDA endorsed it. And within 1 generation, Americans forgot that their grandparents had never owned a pressure canner in their lives. Here is what that shift actually costs you today. A basic pressure canning setup runs between $150 and $300. Each canning session uses roughly 3 to 4 hours of stove time. And if you make a single mistake in the sealing process, wrong temperature, wrong pressure, wrong timing, you risk Clostridium botulinum contamination. Botulism, one of the most lethal toxins known to science. The Amish method requires a ceramic crock, some non-iodized salt, and 48 hours. That is the entire setup. Let's talk about what heat actually does to your food. When you pressure can at 240 degrees Fahrenheit, the standard temperature required to kill botulism spores, You are applying enough thermal energy to denature a significant portion of heat-sensitive nutrients. Vitamin C losses in pressure-canned vegetables range from 50 to 80%, according to data published by the National Center for Home Food Preservation. Vitamin B1, also called thiamine, loses between 20 and 60% of its content through the canning process. Naturally occurring food enzymes, the biological catalysts that help your body break down and absorb nutrients, are completely deactivated above 118 degrees Fahrenheit. Every enzyme in pressure-canned food is dead. Now compare that to lactofermentation. A study published in the Journal of Food Science in 2021 found that lacto-fermented carrots retained 92% of their original vitamin C content after 6 months of storage. More importantly, the fermentation process generated new bioactive compounds that were not present in the raw vegetable, including elevated levels of Lactobacillus plantarum, a bacterial strain clinically linked to improved gut barrier function and reduced systemic inflammation. Fermented cabbage, specifically traditional sauerkraut made with nothing but cabbage and salt, has been shown to contain up to 100 million colony-forming units of live bacteria per gram. A standard probiotic supplement capsule contains approximately 1 to 10 billion colony-forming units total and delivers them in a freeze-dried, partially inactive state. The fermented food delivers them alive, protected inside an acidic brine that buffers against stomach acid during digestion. You are not just preserving food with these methods, you are upgrading it. Let me put this side by side in plain numbers. Pressure canning setup cost, $150 to $300. Fermentation crock setup cost, $20 to $40. Active preparation time for canning a batch of vegetables, 3 to 4 hours minimum. Active preparation time for lactofermentation, 10 to 15 minutes. Shelf life of properly canned vegetables, 1 to 5 years. Shelf life of properly fermented vegetables stored in a root cellar or cool basement, 1 to 2 years. Risk of canning if process is incorrect. Botulism contamination, which the Centers for Disease Control classifies as a Category A bioterrorism agent due to its extreme potency. Risk of lactofermentation if process is incorrect. The brine turns foul, smells wrong, and you throw it out. The fermentation process is self-regulating. Lactic acid bacteria produce acids that prevent dangerous pathogen growth naturally. The food either ferments correctly, or it signals clearly that it failed. There is no invisible, odorless, lethal contamination scenario. Nutritional outcome of canned carrots versus fermented carrots after 6 months. Canned retains roughly 30% of original vitamin profile. Fermented retains over 90% and adds live probiotic cultures on top. Now let me show you exactly how to do this. 3 techniques, all verified, all Amish origin. Start with what you have in your kitchen right now. Technique 1. Dry salt cure for meat. You need pork shoulder, beef brisket, or venison. Non-iodized sea salt or kosher salt only. Iodized table salt inhibits the beneficial bacteria you need. Use 1 pound of salt per 5 pounds of meat. This is not a suggestion, it is the preservation threshold. Below this ratio, dangerous bacteria can survive. Coat every surface of the meat completely. Pack it tightly into a clean ceramic or glass container. Cover and store at 34 to 38 degrees Fahrenheit. A refrigerator works, a cold basement works. Turn the meat every 3 days for the first 2 weeks. This redistributes the brine that draws out of the meat. At 2 weeks, the exterior will feel firm and dry. At 4 weeks, the cure is complete and stable. Properly salt-cured meat stored at the correct temperature will last 12 to 18 months. If white mold appears on the surface, wipe it with a cloth dampened in white vinegar. That is normal curing mold. If you see green, black, or pink mold, discard immediately. Technique 2. Root cellar lactofermentation. Choose firm vegetables, cabbage, carrots, green beans, turnips. Soft vegetables do not ferment well using this method. For the brine, dissolve 2 tablespoons of non-iodized salt per 1 quart of filtered or unchlorinated water. Chlorine in tap water kills the lactobacillus bacteria before fermentation can begin. Pack your vegetables tightly into a clean glass jar or ceramic crock. Pour the brine over until vegetables are fully submerged. Place a weight on top. A smaller jar filled with water works perfectly. The goal is keeping every piece of vegetable below the surface of the brine at all times. Cover with a cloth or loose lid. Do not seal airtight. The fermentation produces carbon dioxide gas that needs to escape. Store at 60 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit for the first 48 to 72 hours. You will see bubbles forming. That is exactly what you want. After 3 days, taste the brine. It should be sour, salty, and slightly fizzy. Move the container to your coldest storage location, between 34 and 45 degrees Fahrenheit. Fermentation slows dramatically at this temperature, and the vegetables enter long-term storage mode. They will continue to slowly develop flavor and probiotic content over the following months. Technique 3. Lard preservation. Render your lard first. Take raw pork fat, back fat or leaf lard, and heat it slowly at 250 degrees Fahrenheit until the fat melts completely clear and golden. Strain out the solid pieces through cheesecloth. Cook your meat thoroughly, pork ribs, sausage links, or chicken thighs. While the meat is still hot, pack it tightly into a clean, dry glass jar. Pour the hot, rendered lard over the meat until every piece is completely submerged with at least half an inch of lard above the top piece. Let it cool at room temperature until the lard solidifies completely. Seal the jar and store in a cool, dark location below 50 degrees Fahrenheit. The hardened lard creates an airtight barrier. No oxygen means no aerobic bacterial growth. Properly prepared lard-preserved meat lasts 4 to 6 months at cool room temperature and up to 12 months refrigerated. When you are ready to eat it, simply warm the jar gently until the lard liquefies, remove your meat, and cook or eat as normal. The remaining lard can be reused for cooking. Here is the bottom line. Canning was invented for Napoleon's army in 1795. It was sold to your grandmother as tradition in the 1950s. And it has been quietly destroying the nutritional value of your survival food ever since. The Amish never stopped doing it the right way. Salt, fermentation, lard. 3 techniques, 0 electricity, 0 expensive equipment, food that lasts, nutrition that survives. The knowledge was never lost. It was just ignored. And you can bring it back to your kitchen this weekend with ingredients you probably already have. Stop spending money on equipment designed for a military campaign. Start building real food security the way it was actually done for the first 150 years of this country. If this gave you something useful today, hit like and subscribe. Next week, we are going deep on the Amish root cellar, how to build one, what to store in it, and why it outperforms any freezer on the market. We will see you in the next one.